Hi there, I'm Kathleen Jasper, and today we're talking about the Praxis 5004, which is the social studies of the Praxis Elementary Education Multiple Subjects Test. Let's get started. So the Praxis Elementary Education Multiple Subjects 5001 is broken up into 4 subtests. The first one is English Language Arts, the second is math, the third is social studies, and the fourth is science. Today I'm going to talk to you about the social studies portion, or the 5004. Now, the social studies portion is divided into several other content categories, and they include United States government, history, and citizenship. The second one is geography, anthropology, and sociology. And the third is world history and economics. So every social studies exam from pre-K all the way up through post-secondary is going to be broken up into these disciplines. Typically, there's usually a U.S. history, government, and citizenship. There's typically a geography component. There's typically an econ or economics component and a world history component. Now, as you move up into the grades, those components get much more nuanced and much more complicated. For the elementary education, these are more like big ideas in the area of social studies. And so you're going to want to get to know these in order to be successful on the exam. Now, one thing I will say, it is impossible to study every single thing in history, econ, geography, in your studies. Like it's not possible. And in a lot of cases, you'll find a random question on the exam that's just kind of hanging out there that you didn't prepare for. That's kind of the nature of a social studies exam. You're not going to get 100% right on this test. And the good news is you don't need 100. You need a low C or high D to pass this particular subtest. So don't try to get every single one of them correct. And if you see a question that you didn't study for on the exam, just look at it, do your best, and move on to the ones that you can answer. Now, let's talk a little bit about these content categories. So U.S. history, government, and citizenship is going to be everything from European exploration and the colonization of the United States, everything from European explorers landing here, to colonies, to the Louisiana Purchase, all of that. It's also going to talk about the government. So Federalist Papers, the Constitution, Declaration of Independence. You're going to have some Revolutionary War stuff on there. You're also going to have questions about Indigenous people on the exam. So it's really everything at the start of the formation of the United States. And again, there's an infinite number of topics that could be on that. But if you go to the ETS study companion, just Google Praxis 5004 study companion, it has a breakdown of all the specifics on the test. And I highly recommend you access that. And I'll put the link in the description so that you can find that. Now, the next part is geography. Now, you may say, well, I'm an adult, I know geography. Some of the concepts in geography you may not have seen for a really long time, so it's important to brush up on that. Also in this section is anthropology and sociology, so how humans interact with one another and how the environment affects farming and human interaction and all of that. So that's kind of lumped together into one content category. And the third and final category is going to be world history and economics. So they put these together on this exam. In a high school exam, they would be separated out. But again, we're in elementary, so we're doing more overarching topics rather than really specific details. Now, world history is going to be everything from ancient civilizations all the way up into the 20th, maybe even a little bit on the 21st century. So that's going to be what is happening around the world. World War I, World War II, the Industrial Revolution, again, ancient civilizations. It goes all the way back, way back in the day, all the way up to present day today. And then economics is going to be a lot about supply and demand, price floors and ceilings, opportunity cost, some of those basic concepts that we need elementary students to understand so they have a grasp of those econ concepts. Now, the social studies exam, you're not going to have a lot of scenario questions. There might be some questions about how to teach a certain concept, but for the most part, it's going to be just straight answering questions about history, government, citizenship, geography, econ, things like that. So it's more of a memorization game. And again, it is going to be impossible for you to memorize every single historical concept from the ancient civilization times all the way up into the 21st century. So do your best to look over that study companion by ETS, look at all those concepts and really dig down deep into those questions and things like that. Now, I have an amazing study guide for the Praxis 5001, and you can just purchase the subtest that you need. So let's say that you've passed the math, the science, and the English language arts, but you just need the social studies piece. You can just buy that piece of the study guide from me so that you can pass just that test. Now, if you need more than one subtest, I recommend getting the entire book or the entire online course because it's more cost effective that way. If you try to buy it individually, it becomes very pricey, but you can buy the whole thing. So 2 or more subtests, buy the whole thing. If you only need one, like you just need the social studies, you can just buy that. Let me show you where to get that. So this is my website, KathleenJasper.com, and you can go to our programs here. And if you click on the 5001, which is the larger test that the 5004 is in, you'll see lots of resources here, along with our study guides and our online courses. You'll also see our reviews. We have a lot of 5-star reviews for this particular program. This is kind of our jam. We know a lot about elementary ed here at KathleenJasper.com. And then, of course, like a little blog with some information that would be very beneficial for you. Now, if you just need the 5004, you can just get that study guide. And as you can see here, you can get the digital portion. Now, if you want a physical study guide, you can head over to Amazon and buy it there. But we only have the full book there. So it's a physical book, so you need to buy the whole thing. We don't sell it as subtests on Amazon. However, if you just need one subtest and you don't care if it's a digital or physical book, you can go ahead and just buy the 5004. Now, we also have an online course for this exam. You can buy the full online course, which is all of the subtests, language arts and reading, math, social studies, and science. Or if all you need is the social studies, you just go here and click 5004, and you can purchase just that online course. Now, the online course comes with the digital study guide, so you do not have to buy both when you buy the online course. The online course is complete prep. It's got tutorial videos, extra practice, online tests, and it comes with the PDF of that study guide. So you have everything you need in there. Now, again, if you need more than one subtest, I recommend getting the entire thing because it's much more cost effective that way. Now, beyond that, we have lots of free webinars. You can go down here, and I believe I just did a 5001 webinar right here. You can have a look at that. Just click this and fill out the form on this page. And when you do, you'll get the replay link and a free study guide that goes with this webinar. So lots of good resources there. All right, so I hope that helps you today with your Praxis 5004. Remember, it is a difficult exam, so take the time to study. If you have any questions or comments, you can throw them in the comments below, and it will be our pleasure to help. Thank you so much for watching, and have an awesome day.